Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I am Mike.
And I am Karen. Today we are looking at part C of traveling around the island of Taiwan, a travel emergency. So I guess we're not talking about yummy, delicious food today, and we're not talking about planning a trip, but we're talking about a travel emergency. So I guess something is going to go wrong.
Well, I hope it's not the danzai noodles or the shrimp roll. Maybe Nelson was eating his shrimp roll too fast and or maybe he's allergic to the shrimp like you said and I gotta go to the hospital, the shrimp are making my body crazy.
I really don't think so.
No?
I think it's
Okay.
pretty safe to have your shrimp rolls in Tainan.
Yeah,
but
probably.
talking about travel emergencies though, have you ever encountered or have you ever had any travel emergencies?
Not particularly. I'm trying to think. Well, I had to fly out of Penghu on the last airplane before a big typhoon once.
Before the typhoon.
We got a call and someone said, be at the airport in 20 minutes or you're gonna be stuck here for 3 days during the typhoon. We're like, oh my God! So we packed our bags and we drove to the airport really fast. We ran through the airport. My friend who was really big, he bought a big pie goose sandwich.
Okay.
I don't know why. So we're running through the airport. He's eating a pie goose sandwich. We had all our guitars and music stuff and we got on the plane and we got back to Taipei all safe. It was fine. But it was a little bit exciting.
But was it a bumpy ride
No,
though?
not really. The typhoon was behind us. We were flying this way. The typhoon was there. It was just a little scary because it felt more scary than it really was. And often when you're in an emergency at the time, it seems really scary, but later on it might just be a fun story.
To tell.
Let's hope that Nelson and Mandy's emergency is kind of like that.
All right.
Mandy and Nelson are on the East Coast Highway.
Why did you pull the scooter over?
The engine was making a strange noise and I wanted to check it out.
Okay. It's better to be safe than sorry.
So today we are looking at part C of traveling around the island of Taiwan, a travel emergency.
Emergency! Call the police! Call the ambulance! 119 911! Oh my God! Emergency is a very critical situation. Something's happening and it's not good. Something bad has happened. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe it was just really bad luck. But often when we have emergencies, we might have to call other people for help.
That's right.
If you lock yourself out of your house and oh no, my keys are inside, that's a small emergency. I mean, no one's gonna die, but you might have to call your friend or a family member or someone who can help you open the door. It could be a medical emergency. You have a crash or an accident. Someone falls and breaks their leg. Someone's having a heart attack, help me! So that's an emergency too. Or of course it could be a crime as well. If someone steals your money or breaks into your house or there's a fire or something, that is also an emergency. So you might call friends and family to help, or if it's more serious, you might have to call an ambulance to take you to the hospital or police to come and help you figure out what happened, but it's not good. We want to avoid emergencies, right?
That's right, but sometimes it's hard to avoid.
Exactly. Life sometimes gives us bad luck or accidents happen. But of course, generally emergencies can be scary and they can also be something you don't want to have in your life. So let's hope that the emergency they have, because of course, when you're traveling and you have an emergency, that's a little more difficult, right? You're not home, you don't have the things around you. You might be somewhere where you don't speak the language or something. So let's hope that their emergency isn't too bad.
Okay, well, let's find out. So Mandy and Nelson are on the East Coast Highway.
Okay.
Okay, so highway. What's a highway? A highway is a big, busy road, often with many lanes that connect cities or towns, allowing people to travel quickly between places. So, for example, you can say, I had heard there was a traffic jam on the highway. Oh, then you probably want to avoid traveling on the highway if there is a traffic jam, right?
Absolutely.
So they're on the East Coast Highway.
Yes.
So East Coast, that would be like along the side of maybe Ilan, Hualien, right?
Down to Taidong. Yes, exactly.
Right.
Which is a very nice road, but it's quite small for a highway, and it kind of
Not too
twists
many
and
lanes.
turns as it goes along the coast with the mountains. Very beautiful, but of course there are accidents down there. So let's find out what's going on. Nelson begins the dialogue and he says, why did you pull the scooter over? Okay, so we know they're traveling on a scooter, and I guess Mandy is the one driving the scooter. Maybe Nelson is sitting behind, or maybe they have two. But anyways, pulling the scooter over means you're kind of just driving along. There's nowhere to stop. You're not at a store, or a gas station, or anywhere. You just sort of stop driving for a while. You pull the scooter over. You move it to the side of the road because something is going wrong here. So we're going to have to find out what is up.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字跟文法重点。首先来看看单字的部分。Emergency, emergency 名词，紧急状况。The doctor rushed to the hospital because of an emergency. 医生因为紧急状况赶到医院。Highway, highway 名词，公路。They drove along the highway for hours. 他们沿着公路开了好几个小时。我们再来看一下文法重点。刚刚对话提到了 pull over， 交通工具靠路边停，也可以省略受词，单独使用。我们来看看这个例句。The police told the man to pull over. 警察要那名男子把车靠边停。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so now Mandy says the engine was making a strange noise and I wanted to check it out. And I think that's very important.
Yes.
Whenever you're driving your car or riding your scooter, if something sounds strange, something sounds weird, something sounds off, of course you want to stop to check it out because when you're on the road, anything can happen. You do not want to get into car accidents. That could be really, really dangerous.
Absolutely. It could be a strange noise, or maybe it's a shaking in a weird way. It just doesn't sound or feel right. And often this could be a problem with the engine. The engine of something, we also might call that the motor. It's the thing that gives the machine the power that makes it go. The engine of a car is usually at the front, and we have to lift that thing up to see inside, and it's all dirty and it has all those parts, and that's where the oil goes and different things move and make the motor go, and then they turn the wheels. The engine of a scooter is usually under your seat. It's usually underneath where you're sitting, and of course the engines on an airplane are usually out there on those wings, those big round things that turn really, really quickly. But a lot of different things have engines or motors. Generally, if we say it's an engine, it's powered by gas, whereas if it's a motor, it might be powered by electricity. So your washing machine, your air conditioner, those would have motors, but your car, your scooter, a boat, an airplane, a train, those will have engines. But in either case, they're the thing that makes the machine work, that give it power, that make it go forward in many cases. So what's going on with that? Nelson says, okay, it's better to be safe than sorry. It's better to pull over, stop the scooter, stop driving, than to be sorry, than to continue to drive and have the engine just die when they're kind of stuck. So it's good to find out what's going on before you make it worse.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 engine, engine 名词，引擎。The car's engine suddenly stopped working. 汽车的引擎突然停止运作。文法的部分刚刚提到了 It's better to be safe than sorry. 防范于未然，意思就是最好不要冒险，以免事后出差错。谚语中的 safe 指的是谨慎的 ，sorry 的意思是感到遗憾的。我们来看看这个例句 ：I always check the door twice before leaving. It's better to be safe than sorry. 我出门前都会检查门2次，防范于未然嘛。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so now that we know what their emergency is, so something wrong with their scooter, they're pulling over and checking the engine because they want to be safe, then sorry. So I hope there's nothing too serious that's going on right now, right?
Me too. I mean, I might know if there's a problem, but I don't know if I would know how to fix the problem myself.
Exactly, in the middle of the road.
They may be needing some help from someone in the near future. We'll find out all about that after the break.
Look, a dark liquid is dripping out of the scooter.
I don't think that's a minor problem. We need help.
I found a scooter garage on my map app. It's about 5 kilometers away.
Great. Let's call them and see if they can help.
I'm on it. And maybe we can still get to Sanchentai today.
All right, Mandy and Nelson are on their road trip around Taiwan. They're traveling by scooter today. Well, they were just until they had an emergency. The scooter was making strange noises, so rather than keep driving and maybe break the scooter, they decided to pull over to stop driving. They're kind of between towns. They're just on a big road here on the highway, so they're trying to figure out what is going on. And then, as we get back to our dialogue, Mandy notices something not good.
Mandy says, look! A dark liquid is dripping out of the scooter.
Yeah, that's not good.
Uh-oh, that sounds a little serious because you don't know what that dark liquid is.
I know it's not good.
Could it be gas? Could it explode?
It's the scooter's blood. Well, kind of.
Well, I know nothing about cars and vehicles and scooters, so I wouldn't know how to fix it.
But generally, a liquid dripping out of a motor or engine, not good.
Not
it's
a good idea. Okay, but what's a liquid?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a noun. A liquid is something like, for example, like water or juice that isn't solid and can be poured. It takes the shape of the container it's in. For example, you can say, the milk in my glass is a liquid.
Okay.
But this is not the liquid that you can drink.
No, yes, those are all liquids you can drink, water, juice, milk, but things like gas or gasoline or oil or chemicals that might go in a machine, do not drink those. But those, of course, are still liquids. We still pour those and stuff. So yes, a dark liquid dripping from an engine, that's probably oil, I would guess. And Nelson says, I don't think that's a minor problem. Yeah, in the same way that if blood is just leaving your body, that's not a minor problem. That's a big problem. He says we need help. In other words, we need to find a garage and a mechanic and someone who knows what's going on and knows how to fix it. So clearly not a minor problem. As I said, minor is something small. It can also be something unimportant. We don't really use minor to talk about size, like look at that minor little dog. Isn't it cute? No, that's a small dog. Generally here we're talking about things, ideas, problems, not just things you can touch, often things that you might be thinking about or talking about or just having to do in your life. If you have a minor problem in your life, it's no big deal. You maybe talk to one person, get a little help. Hey, it's taken care of. If you have a major problem, whoa, that could stop everything else from happening. If you're trying to travel and you get to the airport without your passport, that's a major problem. If you get to the airport without your toothbrush, that's a minor problem, right? You can travel without the toothbrush, just buy one. Without a passport, you're not going anywhere. So that would be a big or major problem. Something small, not so important, a minor problem. And we will take a minor break here, and then we'll be back to find out what's going to happen to the scooter. They're doomed.
Oh no.
Oh no.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 liquid, liquid 名词液体 There is a blue liquid in the bottle 这个瓶子里有蓝色的液体 minor, minor 形容词轻微的 Kara made a minor mistake on the test Kara 在考试中犯了一个小错误接着我们回到课文当中
So now back to the dialogue though. Now Mandy says, I found a scooter garage on my map app. It's about 5 kilometers away.
Ooh,
okay, well, it's good that we have our smartphones, so you are able to locate some different locations you want to find on your map app. App as an application. It is about 5 kilometers away though. Do you think that is really close or a little bit far?
It's maybe a little bit too far to push and walk with the scooter. But Nelson has an idea. He says, great. So he's happy actually to find out that there's a garage only 5 kilometers. I mean, it could be 25 kilometers away or 50 kilometers away. So 5 isn't so bad. He says, great, because this is not too terrible. Let's call them and see if they can help. Yeah, often if you call them, they might have a truck. They can come and lift your scooter onto the truck and then drive it to fix it. You'll have to pay a little bit more for that, but much easier than pushing the scooter for 5 kilometers to get to the mechanic or the garage.
Exactly. So now Mandy says, I'm on it. And maybe we can still get to Sanshentai today. Oh, okay. So what does it mean when she says, I'm on it? So I'm on it means I'm going to take care of it, I'm working on it, or I'm going to do it. It's a way of saying someone will handle a task or a problem. So if Mike asks me to do something, and then I'll be like, okay, sure, I'm on it. That means I'm going to take care of it.
我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的文法 I'm on it 我来处理用来回应对方的请求或指示我们来看看这个对话 Can you help me fix the copy machine? 你可以帮我修这台影印机吗 Don't worry, I'm on it 别担心，交给我接着我们回到课文当中
And we are back and we are done. What happened? I hope they're okay.
I don't know.
Is there a part 4?
Well, no, there isn't a part 4. I guess they're going to be okay. Don't worry. There is a solution to every single problem.
That is true. And of course, they're on the East Coast, so they're probably near Taidong or Hualien or somewhere. They'll be having some delicious food soon and hopefully be back on the road with their fixed scooter in just an hour or 2. Thanks for joining us, guys, and thanks for going on this trip around the island with us. We hope you have great holidays and vacations, and you do get to explore some of the unseen and unknown corners of this beautiful island we call home. Until then,
I'll see you guys next time.
Danzai.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Danzai. I like the noodles. Mandy and Nelson are on the East Coast Highway.
Why did you pull the scooter over?
The engine was making a strange noise and I wanted to check it out.
Okay. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Look, a dark liquid is dripping out of the scooter.
I don't think that's a minor problem. We need help.
I found a scooter garage on my map app. It's about 5 kilometers away.
Great. Let's call them and see if they can help.
I'm on it. And maybe we can still get to Sanshentai today.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 ，emergency 名词紧急状况 ，highway 名词公路 ，engine 名词引擎 ，liquid 名词液体 ，minor 形容词轻微的。接着我们来看看文法的部分 ，pull over 交通工具靠路边停 ，pull over the car and let the ambulance pass， 或者你也可以说。Pull over and let the ambulance pass. 把车靠边停，让救护车通过。It's better to be safe than sorry. 防范于未然。Ed always has his umbrella with him because it's better to be safe than sorry. Ed 总是随身带伞，以防万一。I'm on it. 我来处理。We need to set the table for the guests. 我们需要为宾客布置餐桌。Don't worry, I'm on it. 别担心，交给我。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，那我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Oh, so what's going on for this Sunday? Are we still doing movie night?
Yep, we're meeting at Sabrina's place.
Oh, that's going to be so awesome. Who's coming?
The whole squad will be there. Matt, Mike, Kiki, Weenie, Nina, and us.
Nice. It'll be so much nicer with all of our close friends there.
Definitely. I'll make sure to order extra pizza so no one goes hungry.
Vegetarian, please.
Okay, I'll remember that. But you're the only vegetarian, right?
Hey guys, today we'll be discussing the term squad.
A squad is essentially a group of close friends who share similar interests and trust one another.
It's a fun, casual way to refer to the people you hang out with most or those who always have your back.
So you could think of it as a more laid-back way of saying inner circle or go-to crew.
That's right. An example sentence would be, he's going out to a party with his squad tonight.
Or she posted a photo of her with her squad at the music festival.
And when someone says the term squad goals, it can refer not only to a goal that you and your friends work towards together, but also to admiration for a group's close bond or interactions.
For instance, I really admire how they travel together every year. They're serious squad goals.
Exactly. And that's all for today.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.